Today we're talking about gay Disney recap. Is Disney making the kids gay? Kendrick Juicy concert streaming on Twitch. We'll talk about Trump shitting on Milwaukee. Backtracks. Latimer versus Bowman. Pack race. Juneteenth concert. Jubilee. Hold on. Jubilee. GOP infighting and more. Get in now. Do you watch the Euro? Absolutely fucking not, mate. Absolutely not. Are you fucking mental? Are you fucking mental? No, I don't watch the fucking Euros. I don't watch the fucking Euros. Fake Turk, I don't care, mate. It's a beautiful game. It's the beautiful game. Footy, I don't do it. I don't like it. Why did you slip in the Aussie? I don't know. I don't like footy, mate. I don't like it. I don't fucking like footy, mate. Right, we're fucking blasting off, yeah? We're blasting off. Gay Disney recap. Is Disney making a kiss fucking gay? Trump shits on Milwaukee, then backtracks. Latimer versus Bowman, APAC race. Jubilee GOP infighting. Even on Twitch and Mo. Get in now. We're doing a fucking thing, yeah? You like it? I fucking like it, mate. That's right. It's the start of it all. I was just at Disney. This was so fucking funny. You guys missed the other version of this. That's also very funny. Do you see Putin and DPRK? Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. You and Will at Gay Disney, the incredible. That is 100% a gay man. Like, straight up. Don't care. Still would, respectfully. Oh yeah, 100%. Bro, I have so much respect for voguing. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna try to figure out if I can learn how to vogue. What? Diamond te mayalınız değildir. What the fuck is that? Misogyny showing? I'm gonna do a Vogue stream. I'm gonna learn how to Vogue with Will and maybe some other people. We'll figure it out. But I think that's what we gotta do. Folks, we gotta do that. We gotta learn how to Vogue, baby. That's right. It's been all of this and more, specifically so that I can say the F slur without any penalties. You know what I mean? That's the major goal here. I want to learn how to Vogue. If I can do it well, I can just say the F slur. Nobody can get mad at me. You can just like put the clips of me voguing. It's Pride Month. We got to do what we got to do, baby. You should get put in drag as well. I mean, we've done that so many times. Like, I've done drag so many fucking times that it's just like, you know. Hassan is a base shirt today. Yeah. I love the meme of you doing gay things without Austin. Oh yeah, we're doing Vogue, but we're not gonna invite Austin. 100%. He is uninvited from all the gay activities going forward. He chose not to come to Disney Pride, which means that he's choosing automatically to be disinvited from all gay activities in the future. Only straight activities. I will literally only bring Austin to shit like, I don't know, like a spitting competition or something. What the fuck do straight people do? I'm not even. Yeah, gun range and things like who can pee further. Like, that's straight guy shit. UFC with Trump and Austin, yes. He would like that too much though. I want to punish him. Going to Buffalo Wild Wings with my divorced friends and talking about how women ain't shit until we get inebriated and start trying to fuck the obviously high school graduate, barely fresh out of high school graduate waitress who is the age of my daughter. That's what we're gonna do. Anyway, we didn't drink 6 beers and play Time Crisis at Dave and Buzzied's. There are competitions where they cut things with knives and with one arm in their back. Oh yeah, I've seen that. Hey, who's that in the chat? That former mod Austin show. Hassan's gonna punish me. Yeah. Austin is disinvited from all gay events that we're going to be engaging in. Wait, what the fuck? DC subpoena on Zins? No shot, bro. I'll fucking lose my mind. Philip Morris suspends nationwide sales on Zyn.com after DC subpoena. Wait, shut the fuck up. Bro, this has got to be an old story because I literally recently ordered Zins off the website. Okay. I ordered Zins off the website, and let me tell you something, okay? They have like a DC thing on there. I'm posting Zintifada time. Fuck it. Just online sales suspended? No, I don't think it's actually full blown suspended. I think they're already complying with the government thing. We are restricted on 2 cans a day in some places. Yeah, that shit sucks. Long live the Zintifada, baby. Globalize the Zintifada. There's nothing lamer. There is absolutely nothing lamer than fucking like taking treats away like this. You know what I mean? Please don't do this. It's fucking bullshit. Did I see Kai met mother? No, I didn't, because I was literally doing the gayest shit possible. And my fraudulent gays were probably not watching Will's stream where we were doing literally gay shit at Gay Disney and instead posting about fucking Kai meeting Mariah Carey, because y'all gays are a bunch of fucking fakes. Okay? Let me just say, you fraudulent charlatan gays, we literally went and did gay ass shit at gay ass Disney on Pride Night, and you fucking fraudulent bitches, you absolute fraudulent charlatan bitches in the chat were probably like, oh my God, that's Mariah Carey. Sorry, Hassan, you are not Mariah Carey. And guess what, dude? I'm not Mariah Carey, okay? You're tacky and I hate you. Yeah. Keep saying it. Keep saying it. Kai with one single fucking move, okay? Kai with one single fucking move cleared. Like, he literally cleared everything I could have ever done. Like, I thought gay streaming was my fucking territory, okay? Being a straight guy that serves the homosexual community is my thing. And then this motherfucker comes in on Gay Disney Pride Night and turns around and pulls this shit off. It's over. It's done. I've lost the gays. I lost everybody. That was my last bastion. This is my thing, man. How dare you? All right, let's see what happened. I actually didn't watch this. I just saw Auntie Piker post about it.
How you doing? Yeah, just having fun today. But they want to do ding dong ditch. Wait, so what do we do from there, North?
Let's go down to
Bet. Mariah, you want to do some ding dong ditches?
I'll do some ding dong ditching.
Okay.
Bro, what the fuck apartment complex this is? I feel like when you do ding dong ditch here, you're doing it to like Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? This is a dangerous prospect, okay? Like, I feel like when you're in an apartment complex with like Kim Kardashian and motherfucking Mariah Carey, the person you're ding dong ditching is like an Arab weapons manufacturer who literally has shooters on the other side and possibly a fucking auto turret. You know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do a ding dong ditch. Meanwhile, the guy you're ditching on was responsible for chopping up Jamal Khashoggi in a fucking Turkish consulate. You know what I mean? The Saudi embassy guy. I would not be ding dong ditching in this apartment complex. This is the last apartment complex I'll be ding dong ditching at. This is some like, not even just like regular rich people shit. This is like top of the fucking leaderboard rich people shit. Mariah Carey doesn't live alongside other like people. Mariah Carey doesn't live alongside motherfucking like actuarial science majors and shit. She's not living up there with like fucking quants and accountants and CEOs. She's living up there with like war criminals. This is the type of zip code where you go to the thrift stores and they are literally giving you Louis Vuitton purses for free. Okay. It's like, oh, here's vintage Louis Vuitton. Here's a vintage Louis Vuitton box from like 1847. Okay. Let me tell you something. You want this Louis Vuitton vintage box? You can have it for $400. Meanwhile, the retail price of that shit is like literally like tens of thousands of dollars. Like, that's the type of neighborhood they're in, I suspect. Internet celebrities deconstructing fame-based class systems is very fun. Yeah. Oh, it's a hotel. Did your stomach recover from the Forsaken sandwich? Louis Vuitton didn't exist in 1848, but established it in 1856. Okay, bro, stop being a nerd. You have a 3-point percentage of 26.4% excluding challenges. We'll break down the data soon. Did you add the fucking granny shit, or did you just post my 3-point percentage, no challenges? I mean, I need to do a real one, dude. I need to do a real one. You added the grannies? Yeah, don't add the grannies. I want to know what it looks like without the grannies. I wonder if it's better with the grannies or without. I want to know what my 3-point percentage would look like if I did like 100 shots. Because like, I'm not going to run it back. I just want to know what the percentage looks like. Because like, the challenges reset my shot every time. You know what I mean? The challenges reset my shots. Which is why I feel like it's not the same as like doing like a regular continuous 100 buckets. What the fuck? Why do people post like weird ass fucking numbers in the chat? Freaks me out. Anyway, 20 to 50 warm-up shots, 100 shots test percentage. Yeah, that's what I mean. Damn, you could be like the Richie is, though. You would be start bitching about progressives and being a birthing person like Analog. Even richer when you do the Y left, the left arc. Wait, what?
One of the best free throw shooters of all time. Shot just like your grandma. And most NBA players should be doing the same thing. But they...
That's awesome. This guy's just like riding for the granny shot. I respect that. Anyway, let's do a recap of Gay Disney. Chat, can we do that? Do you guys have anything? Hard to say your accuracy, mostly just you needing to lose consciousness enough to stop talking shit to yourself, Lamau. No, that part is fine. That's whatever. It's not a big deal. I want to see you 1v1 Shaq. What are you saying, bro? 1v1 Shaq? He would destroy my life. The only advantage I have is being a 6'4" dude who's built like a fucking brick shit house. Like, I immediately lose that one advantage I have over like the average person. Azan on the aux. Yeah, we're not doing that right now. Okay, listen. Why wouldn't you just go to the court and get someone to follow the shots to get the percentage of people who aren't afraid of the 3-minute ad break? Whoa, what the fuck, bro? Bro, it's 30 minutes in. We're not doing a top of the hour ad break right now. We're not doing a top of the hour ad break right now. Chill out. You got me though, but it's like only. Do you think Fear and Kai is possible? Fuck no, dude. Are you insane? And it's not because of me. Like, I would love to have fucking Kai on the Fear and podcast. There's just no shot in the world that he would do it. Like, why the fuck would he do that? Don't say no. No, it's not that he's too brand friendly. It's just we don't have enough clout. Like, I'll be 100% honest with you. We, at the level of clout that Kai's at currently and the level of clout that we have, there is no reason for him to. There's no reason for him. He doesn't even come to the fucking streamer awards, bro. What are you talking about? And that one is like at least big enough for him. Maybe in a couple of years, if his fucking, if his content trajectory fizzles out a little bit, he's literally hanging out with Mariah Carey. And a chatter said, "Why wouldn't you have Kai Cenat on?" It's like asking, why wouldn't I have any other celebrity on? Like, there was a time and place when when he was like blowing up. Yeah, of course, I've met him. We've talked before. I've met him. We've hung out a little bit during Streamer Awards, if you guys remember. But not Streamer Awards, during TwitchCon. But that is an entirely separate planet. That is an entirely separate planet now. I would have a much easier shot having like a mainstream celebrity that I know on. Let's be real. Because like a lot of this stuff is supposed to be mutually beneficial. And it would be mutually beneficial for him, but it's like not beneficial enough. You know what I mean? Probably. Having Trump on would be easier than Kai, not gonna lie. Yeah. Most likely. It's not even a joke. I do actually legitimately believe that. What is this? Hassan gives Kai Cenat 100 subs? What the fuck is that? When is that from? Here you go.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, things were very different back then. Okay. I was, I didn't have 13K viewers 40 minutes into the fucking 14K viewers 30 minutes in the broadcast. Like, times have changed a little bit, don't you think? Motherfuckers have fallen off, okay? We've fallen off.
Oh my God.
I have 96,000 people watching me at this point. I had 96. What day is this? Why did I have 96,000 people watching me? The fuck is going on? You were doing drama? View count Andes? Bro, come on. Everyone is a view count Andy at the end of the day. It's just like it's a faux pas. It's a faux pas and bad business to be a view count Andy. But back then I was popping off. Like I had double the, look at his viewership. He had 57,000 people. I had 96,000 people watching. So it's very different. It's a very different time. This law shows how most of your followers resign as libs. No, that's not it. I was probably debating someone big. COVID viewer numbers. I used to debate more people. It's probably like, gotta get fat again, dog. Yeah, I know. I lost the weight and I lost audience. The fuck. Anyway, where was I? Why are we talking about this shit? Who gives a fuck? This one went viral on Twitter, it seems. don't know why. I don't know what happened there. You should have Tinashe on to discuss Palestine. Is Tinashe pro-Palestine? Get Tinashe on Fear and. I don't like Kai because he yells all the time. And I say there's a long time Hasanabi hit. I mean, different strokes for different folks. It's obvious that like that kind of high impact content is like very, very, very appealing to a much younger audience that has a lot of time to fucking go and you know, watch Twitch and all this other stuff. Yeah, I think people think that like maybe they think it's Kalani because I could have Kalani on. She has like reposted me before. This was crazy from you, Hassan. What? Hassan needs to be a band. Oh, because I played You Know Miles. Yeah. What I wouldn't give to make OnlyFans content with you. Okay, Jesus Christ. I do not do OnlyFans. This clip went viral for the same reasons this went viral. What the fuck? That's from like 2 days ago. Dude, I was fucking fat back then. Jesus Christ. I've lost so much weight. It's crazy. Mother's been real? Oh shit. Okay. Yo, Tinashe's been free in Palestine since 2021. What are we talking about? Oh my Lord. I didn't even realize what the date was. That's crazy, bro. Okay. That's the GOAT. I'm following her. I am so nasty. I will match her freak. I swear to God. I swear to freaking God, I will match her freak. It's no memes, okay? I will match your freak, Tinashe. As a 23-year-old Zoomer, please stop being boring. Everyone stop being boring. Kai's funny. Yeah, exactly. Try to get in contact with the creative director that worked for her. Maybe we'll see it. What is this? 17K likes. You're not falling off. No, we're picking back up, baby. TikTok is the meta. Dude, I think like all the fan cams and whatnot, we should probably be fucking posting like clips, stream clips as well. It's not just like TikTok photos or whatever, but like funny moments from the clip. The funny moments from the stream, they go hard. Like that kind of stuff goes hard on TikTok. And because there's so much stuff that you could just like clip, I don't know. I feel like I want to make like either a Twitter community or like a Discord like stream. We have a stream clips thing on Discord. I kind of want to I kind of want to use that in a way where like we could just like have some of the best places, some of the best clips from the stream, like the clip cord. When you talk about politics for 7 hours, TikTok clips from once a week, 2 on streams isn't gonna save you. No, there's Abi Diamond tema hakkında konuşabilir misin? Ne Diamond tema ne ya?
What is that? What does that sign say?
Okay, bro, that's fucked up that you posted that. A voluntary clip soy shop? Yes. Just letting you know, Will is clips disabled on his channel. Yeah, probably for good fucking reason. Anyway, it's not just like thirsty shit. I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about just like thirsty shit. I'm talking about specifically, you know, like clippable moments. There's like funny moments on stream from like reacts and stuff. Sorry, but watching people walk around an amusement park is some of the least interesting content. I love you. Dude, you're not sorry. You're just fucking annoying. And 2, it was a banger that everybody literally loved. I don't know why so many people are so like, they have just like insane sticks shoved up their fucking assholes, so firmly planted up there. You are literally not even in like the minority. You're like, this is a one guy moment. Like I'm specifically calling what you are saying as the ultimate one guy. It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. And most people genuinely enjoyed it. But hey, whatever, dude. Also, it's like such a lame ass way to fucking present what we were doing as just like walking around an amusement park. Like, oh, shut up, dude. Like at a certain point, you got to realize like we are trying to be entertaining. You know what I mean? It might not be entertaining to you, but we are trying to. This motherfucker, bro. Okay, here. This is what I was gonna say. Your discussion on Fear and with Cutie about the lack of a new subreddit community type clip place made me want to revive one of my own projects. That was exactly that. Yeah, even the 2-hour car ride down to fucking Anaheim was kind of funny. So someone proposed. People propose at Disney all the time, apparently. Okay, which makes sense. It's the most American shit that you could possibly do. You know, this is a cultural landmark, obviously. So you know, It's like proposing outside of a McDonald's kind of, but like at least a little bit cooler. Overall, people are proposing there and it's like Pride Night. And this motherfucker gets on one knee right after somebody proposed. And like, I've never felt so much fear in my life. Okay. I have never felt, it's not about like me being afraid of looking gay. Obviously, I do gay shit on a daily fucking basis. It's me having so much fear of being like visible in public in that way to a lot of people who now think that like they've just watched a beautiful moment and that beautiful moment is just a fucking meme. You know what I mean? Like it was the most terrifying shit, bro. When he got down on one knee. I was so worried people were gonna take it seriously. Like I was so scared, dude. He tried to do it again and then I fucked his face. Like it's not even, yeah, making a joke out of something important to other people. That's what it is. Like that's what I was like fearful of. You were afraid of people thinking you were actually engaged with Will? No, dude. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's just like, don't you think it's like, you know, faking getting engaged in front of people? Like that sucks. Like, it's not like I wouldn't do that to a girl either. You know what I mean? Like I would not do that. The entire stream felt like a well flex on chatters. They can never afford to do this, by the way. That's a joke, by the way. Okay. Thank God. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah. Will. So Cutie missed this moment, but Will got down on one knee again in front of the fucking. I've ever met. Besides Ludwig, I was like, wow. Could it be smaller, please? Like right as we get off the camera, he gets down on one knee again. So this time I turned around and started fucking his head. No, not in front of the children.
That was crazy. Every guy I've ever met.
It will get people to pull their phones out and think it's a real emotional moment. Then you'll have to explain it to them. Yeah. And also on top of that, we're two straight guys who are like, you know, we have like relatively, we have like some kind of social media presence. You know what I mean? Like people know who the fuck we are and they know we're straight and we're at fucking Disney Pride. People are going to think we're like making a mockery of gay marriage or some shit. I don't know. But that's not my big fear. I just didn't want, like I said, it wasn't that I was like worried about being perceived gay. Oh my God. I obviously don't give a shit about that. Like, but there was a couple that literally got engaged right before us. Like, I feel like that's a serious thing. You know what I mean? There's like a commitment. And then we're just like we're just kind of faking it. Will's POV. Yeah, that's Will's POV. Maybe you should have gone along with it, then also gone along with the wedding. It's true. Anyway. It's not just about it being like perceived as us making a joke about gay people. It's just like it's just like such a serious thing that people love and enjoy, and I just wouldn't want to touch that at all, even if it was like a straight situation, you know, even if it was a normal marriage. Get what I'm saying? Not a gay one. You not matching Will's freak. I mean, this goes hard. This song does go hard. Yeah. So much content given to so many in the community last night. The gaming frog still yearn. Yeah. Fucking someone's face an important moment for many people and you're making a mockery out of it. Yeah. If people started taking pics, I feel like you kind of had to actually marry to avoid to give explanations. True. What was your favorite ride there? Would you go back to the fully open park since so much was closed? Yes. If we were to film it with Cutie again, my champion, my goat, my queen. Dude, Cutie was phenomenal. Cutie was incredible. Horny Yoda was hilarious. And yeah, everything was great. Everything was awesome. Everything was so much fun. We had a lot of fun just like fucking around. And yeah, Hassan having the time of his life right now.
I didn't realize we got wet in this topic.
Yeah, that was Matterhorn, which was kind of busted. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's not like real roller coasters at all. Like, none of them are even remotely scary. Very little technical issues. Cutie just had the grip on her. She is the gripper, by the way, and not in the way that you think. I mean, Cutie is the gripper. Her fucking grip on that goddamn phone the entire time. We're on every fucking ride. She doesn't even have like She is just grabbing with her claws, okay? Do you understand what kind of grip strength you need to demonstrate? I don't mean like grippy in the way that like Zoomers have ruined the word. I mean like literally the original context of the gripper, okay? She is crazy. This clip had me howling.
Guantanamo Bay. That's not
Disney Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah. Mickey in a stress position. Yeah.
Wow! They shoved a feeding tube down my throat
Oh boy.
after I refused to eat on a hunger strike. It's totally legal, the Supreme Court ruled.
People making fun of me saying like autism, this is autism, that I have politics autism.
It's real.
No one else is listening to them chat, so it's okay. They're in their own bubble right now. I'll let them be free.
Who?
Chat keeps saying, "Cutie, make them stop."
Make it stop.
And I said, no one can hear them. It's okay.
Have a chat with just autism allegations. It's just like projection. This is an autistic community, okay? It says you is what I say. People being like, oh, Cutie came out as straight. Can't believe she did that right in front of our gunkles. Yeah, Will went to Pandora and fucking threw the bag at us too. He got us these rings. He got us the Infinity Gauntlet Pandora Disney Collection collab rings, which is crazy. Train time. Ooh, let's see.
The train?
You love trains.
He loves
Smiling
it.
a little bit.
He loves the train.
I mean, it's cool.
I do. Cutie learn what it's like to be a mom. We had a blast watching. Yeah. What is this?
Oh, I'm gonna kill myself.
This was the stream basically. Oh yeah, I saw this. Fear and at Disney cannot be normal. Trying her best, wants to ride everything, just chilling. This one too.
Oh yeah, we're going.
That's nice. Oh, we're actually cruising.
Oh, you can't tell, but we're picking up speed.
Yeah, we're going kind of fast.
We're going a cool 12 miles an hour right now. Actually.
I've been a nasty girl.
Stop. You guys are gonna embarrass me in front of the mouse. No, it's gonna be miserable.
Oh yeah. I definitely will be. This reminds me of Universal. You can't say that here. Wait, am I?
You embarrassing Cutie.
Hello, we're here for Disney Gay Night.
She loved it. She's laughing.
Can you hold the phone? Oh, yeah. There you go. Thank you. Enjoy your night. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day. Have a Disney day.
Jesus Christ.
Do people say that?
Are you gonna be like that this whole
Do
night?
people say that?
No, they don't say that.
Hey, New Orleans.
New Orleans, what they got there?
Need somebody and I'm at my nest.
Bro, there's children around. Dude, this shit you've been saying, are you kidding?
Hey, New Orleans.
New Orleans, what they got?
A real freak, bro. You see that? Not me. Marsh is a real freak. Oh, here. The small world was weird. It was definitely weird.
That's all I know. Is there other lyrics?
It's a world of laughter, a world of tears.
Wow, it's Eddie Burback.
Drink the water, quick. While
Look, sexy, the babies. It's another sexy one.
Stop calling baby sexy. What the
Look at her, she crazy.
Is this like, does this make you go crazy? Like if you do it twice, like you want to kill yourself?
Maybe. Look, it's Will's mom.
She looks inbred as fuck. If I did drugs on this ride, it would be a very pivotal moment in my life.
It's a small
Nemo!
Nemo.
Where's Nemo?
That's not coronavirus.
Oh, come on, that's literally what coronavirus looks like.
It's a world of hope and a world of fear.
Don't do that. If we get stuck here, I will kill myself.
Disney predicted COVID. Like, I think there's truth to this. Has anybody investigated this? True story, one of my neighbors growing up got stuck on It's a Small World when it broke down and it legit got PTSD from it. They keep that shit running on low volume at night because it's cheaper on the power bill. I imagine the fear of walking past it at the witching hour. Wait, what? Why would it be cheaper on the power? Here's you guys going on the train ride and you laughing hysterically, time stamped.
They're just yelling scream.
Oh, this is on Will's.
Wow, it's so pretty.
Here we
Look
go.
at the horizon. Wow.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Hassan Tour says that's not true. Dude, Kaya just growled to herself and then like looked back at her pussy. I suspect she's going through some period cramps right now. She went, just like stared at her vagina. Are you okay? Are you good? Are you good, baby? That's so funny. The fact that they cut horny Yoda out of the photo on Space Mountain was criminal. Yeah. Will's other new bit, oh my god, that shit was funny as fuck. Dude, horny Yoda is criminally funny. And by that, it's a double entendre, okay?
Backpack. Or Yoda backpack. You found
It's a double entendre.
Oh, cutie Cinderella.
High fashion. I'm not even kidding. There's like a designer, and there's a designer that does like a human
Chat. Let me touch you. Ooh, nice.
So supple chat is.
Oh, Yoda has been a good.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. There's a cute magnet.
Horny Yoda is a god tier character. Will literally would be playing. I would just like look over. Camera's not on him at all. Camera's not on him at all. He's just playing with Yoda. He was just like, he was making Yoda send kisses to people that weren't even looking at him. Like he was just doing it on his own. He wasn't even like performing. I swear to God. He was stimming with horny Yoda.
Why are there so many men?
Grogu, I do not like. Get Grogu out of here. Everyone forgot about Yoda when Grogu came out.
That's pretty true.
Forgot about Yoda, they did. Oh, chat.
So creepy.
Ooh, nice.
It's just so perfect because his face. Hoscord made S tier teams from, yeah, I saw that. The endless, I died on this. The endless depravity of Kick, the worst streamers of all time. Horny Yoda. Horny Yoda, no, they're going to cancel you. So good. We did all the rides we could. Like we did a lot of the big rides that we could. Overall, I will say this much. It is not like, yeah, I mean, they're baby rides. Like Disney rides are baby rides. Like if you are used to like Six Flags and shit, as I am at least, like I have a level of fear from like, like well-established and decent fear from my childhood of like going to Six Flags and doing the rides there and just like shitting my pants the entire fucking time, that I expected them to be like the classic rides that make, you know, that push your stomach up to your fucking throat and then back down to your asshole. They're not that kind. Even Space Mountain is not like that.
Tender slice of beef you are. Oh, yeah.
Your selfie yesterday was cute. Oh yeah, lots of 9/11 memes. You asked an attendant if one of the rides was scary and they looked like you, that you were stupid. Yeah, I mean, I was memeing. This was iconic. What is this? Oh, the Yoda cameo. Dude, I was barely fitting in most of the rides, by the way. I don't know how you do it if you're taller.
Tender slice of beef you are.
I don't know how people fit like beyond my size. Like, oh, we missed this. I mean, that's it. That's the gayest it is gonna get. All right, here we'll move on from this. I'll just show you the ending. This is pretty funny. Destiny is what Hassan wishes he could be. He is so envious and paranoid of Destiny. It is hilarious. Hassan has to spread lies and take clips out of context to try and keep his dwindling cult of an audience. It's like the level of projection there. Oh, also, congratulations to Elden Lord Valkyrie. Who is the new Elden Lord. One of you guys sent that to me and we're like, step aside, Hassan. Okay, well, whatever. We're obviously gonna do the America First pack. Y'all missed this parade yesterday? Drake is cooked. They got Kendrick Lamar playing in Disneyland. What the hell? No, that's not real, dude. They would never do that. We'll do Pokelaw's new album. My favorite Big Justice rating. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. That's Did Disney send their VIP person to you guys to take care of when you went yesterday? No. But we did have shouts out to Hillary and shouts out to the Disney cast member union. They're working hard out there. I'll talk about that in a second. Hold on. Here, I'm gonna show you guys the ending. Here it is.
Thanks to you, chat. Because remember, as much as we joke, pride is a good thing. Be yourself. If you're a Disney adult, go have fun.
Oh, and one more thing. Oh, looking good you are, Chad. On a date we go. Give kiss to me.
Give kiss to me. Also, yeah, happy Juneteenth to the black chatters in the Hasanabi community. Only the black chatters, no one else gets to celebrate this day. Okay, I didn't even know it was a federal holiday. By the way, that's cool. Thanks for mentioning the union. I'm the CM from the end of the night. Yeah, the boys killed it with a Juneteenth. Wait, what is that? Since 2021, I loved how Cutie would tell Chad to smile when she was in Pigs. It was so cute. Yeah, Vought did a Juneteenth. We've always celebrated Juneteenth and valued diversity. That's why half the 7 is black and or racially ambiguous. Today, we're giving Noir, A-Train, and Sage free Vaultland tickets as Homelander, Deep, and Firecracker cover all missions. Learn more about our DEI efforts on 620. That's so funny. Is better you didn't know? Stay out of black people's business? Okay. Wait, did Themasia send a playlist and I miss it? I don't know. Me in the lobby of the office because I didn't get today off. Oh, fuck. Ow. Ow, my rhomboids. Do we have the Macy's playlist or not? Don't think so. Oh, damn. The Macy's took the day off. It's Juneteenth. Hold on. Yeah, Disney's been cutting performances at parks off due to the union activity. Good luck 1v1ing the most annoying racist gray names today. Oh, he did. Bro, he does not take a day off. All right, we're going to start out with Israel warns. We're getting into the news, baby. Israel warns of possible all-out war after Hezbollah publishes video of military and civilian sites. I got to go pee real bad. Hold on.
Conflict in the Middle East after Israel's foreign minister warns Hezbollah it would be destroyed if all-out war breaks out. Israel Katz's comments online follow Hezbollah's release of a purported 9-minute drone video that shows sensitive military locations and civilian areas in Haifa and other Israeli cities. And while tensions percolate along the northern border with Lebanon, there's a brewing diplomatic rift between the Netanyahu government and the White House. We are connecting the dots on this for you with Ben Wiedemann back with us this hour from Beirut. Paula Hancock's is in Jerusalem and Lauren Fox is in Washington on Capitol Hill. Let me start with you, Ben. Just describe to us the importance of this purported video shot by drones, Hezbollah says, from Lebanon over Israeli cities, including Haifa, which of course serves as a crucial gateway to the rest of the world and maybe more importantly for Israel. How does Hezbollah manage to fly a drone in such strategic locations? And is this psychological warfare that we're looking at here?
Well, Becky, I think the Israelis are also trying to figure out how it is that Hezbollah was able to fly those drones over some very sensitive military positions, military industries, the port, where we see huge oil storage facilities. They got it all. Now, for one thing, what we've been seeing from almost the beginning of the back and forth skirmishes between Hezbollah and Israel is that Hezbollah has been targeting Israeli surveillance and observation equipment all along the border. The Israelis, in fact, brought in cranes to replace the destroyed surveillance equipment, and Hezbollah took those out as well. So clearly there are holes in their ability to see what enters Israeli airspace, but above and beyond that, clearly Hezbollah has the technical capability to collect this sort of sensitive information well inside Israeli territory. It's about 30 kilometers from the nearest point on the Lebanese-Israeli border to Haifa. Was it a propaganda video? Well, actually, if you looked at the text in the video, there wasn't anything about attacks. It was just very sort of factual, explaining what this location is, what it served, what you're seeing. And it
Bro, if your entire strategy of defending your people revolves around making their lives less safe by actively attacking every single country around you, you're fucking cooked. Okay? You are the most cooked. Because this is literally the Chinese spy balloon, right? And unlike the Chinese spy balloon, which was just a scare because it was a fucking weather balloon that flew over US airspace due to like winds and shit, this unironically is an active and very deliberate and very targeted deterrence mechanism. It is a threat to say, don't fuck around, you will find out. Okay? This kind of stuff genuinely is, once again, further proving to everyone, okay, further proving to everyone that has eyes to see and a brain to compute that Israel is not keeping Jews safe worldwide, and it's certainly not keeping Jews safe in Israel, okay? It's just not. Like, obviously, when you are genuinely presenting yourself as an active threat to anyone and everyone in the region because you think big dog, the United States of America, is always going to bail your ass out, it's not gonna keep working, okay? Those other countries have nowhere else to go either. You know, you're just kind of stuck there. Be kind to your fucking neighbors. It is insane. It's why Chihuahuas don't make it to the dog park without mom's supervision. It's just like, how? How are you so bad? How are you so bad at this? How are you so bad at this defense? How are you so bad at keeping your people safe? It seems behaving like a belligerent maniac is, and this is shocking, I know, shocking for some, maybe shocking for all, is not keeping your people safe at all. Like, not even a little bit. You think Trump would tighten Israel's leash if they tried to actually start a regional war? Fuck no. I don't think Trump has better foreign policy instincts than the team that Joe Biden has surrounded himself with. And Joe Biden's team, that doesn't mean Joe Biden's team is good. It's very bad. I think it's just like Trump also has demonstrated once again that he is not, like, I mean, Trump in all of the time in his office, like, he showed that he was not interested at all. Yo, stop being weird boo trans. Okay, yes, I did seeking derangements already. I fucking did it yesterday. Okay, calm down. I don't know when it's gonna come up. I don't know when it's gonna come out.
It really is a message to the Israelis that, you know, don't mess with us. We not only have the ability to collect intelligence deep inside your territory on very sensitive sites, but along with that probably comes other capabilities that we've seen slowly unveiled in the last few weeks. For instance, Hezbollah in the last few months has been able to shoot down 3 Hermes 900 Israeli drones, very sophisticated drones that can fly as high as 30,000 feet. They took those out with anti-aircraft missiles. 2 weeks ago, they were able to strike, according to Hezbollah, but the video would also seem to confirm that, an Israeli Iron Dome battery. The Iron Dome is really the backbone of Israel.
There's actually a shit ton of northern Israeli residents pleading to the government to start another front on the war in the north. I don't blame them. They're getting terrorized day in, day out by Hezbollah without any help from their government. But obviously the solution to missile terrorism isn't more missile terrorism. A ceasefire in Gaza will go a long way, in my opinion. Yeah, it's just like Israelis unfortunately have the same exact fucking dumbass brain rot that we have in the United States of America, which is like the best solution to gun violence is more guns attitude that Americans demonstrate at every point. It's like, oh, have I been doing this exact same thing this entire time and it has demonstrably made things worse for me? What's the solution? Changing course and maybe going in the other direction, maybe seeking like peace negotiations, like binding peace negotiations. Nah, I should keep doing the same thing more and more. Okay? Americans think The solution to gun violence is more guns. Okay? Maybe not all Americans, but enough Americans. Like, think about it. During school shooting season, which is basically the entire season in the entire year at this point, with the exception of maybe the summer, our solution, especially in the state of Florida after the fucking Parkland shooting, what was our solution after the Parkland shooting? To launch the Pioneer program, which would give teachers who were desperate for extra funding subsidies for purchasing a firearm and learning how to use it so that we could arm the teachers with guns. That's how fucking stupid we are here in America. And that is exactly how Israel operates with respect to its neighbors. Okay? It's literally the same energy. It is the most America-coded. It is the most America-coded behavior to be like, you know what will stop? You know what will stop the bombing campaigns coming from our northern neighbor? More bombing. Well, how did it start?
Israel.
Here's John Mersheimer on Israel's strategy of escalation dominance.
Was the big loser here. You have to understand how the Israelis think about deterrence. What the Israelis believe is that their deterrence depends on escalation dominance. In other words, as we go up the escalation ladder, I dominate. It's now very clear. The Israelis no longer have escalation dominance vis-a-vis Iran or vis-a-vis Hezbollah. They cannot shut down the conflict with Hezbollah on their northern border. Really quite remarkable. The Israelis are hitting Hezbollah very hard, and Hezbollah is responding. Hezbollah has 150,000 rockets and missiles. So from a deterrence point of view, the Israelis are in real trouble. Israel.
Yeah, this is 100% correct, by the way. Like, this is the doctrine. What is it called? I think it's not even the Dahiyya doctrine. I'm talking like specifically, there's a term for it. Like, is it the Iron Wall? Is that what it's called? Like the idea that the only way that Israeli military leadership has ever, the Iron Curtain? No, not the Iron Curtain. It's something. It's the notion. No, not the Iron Dome. That's the missile defense system. No, and the Iron Curtain is Soviet. That's not. There is a different word for it. I think it's literally called the Iron Wall, where basically the idea is that the only way that Israel, like, and it doesn't. Yeah. Oh yeah. Jabotinsky. Thank you. It is the Iron Wall. The only way that Israel thinks that it has like perceived security in the region is by being literally fucking belligerent, kind of doing the madman principle from the Nixon Kissinger era policy of being like behaving like a psychopath, the madman theory, but in like the Israeli version of it, basically. Why is your sound quality always bad lately? Always cutting out randomly? Is it? Or are you just saying that because you have some weird shit going on? I haven't heard any other chatter mention that. Everyone is saying no collectively. Okay. It is a genuinely stupid policy that, like, no matter what happens, the only way that we can have a veil of security, perceived security in Israel, is by showing everybody, if you fucking throw a rock, we kill your family. If you throw a missile, we throw 10 missiles back. If you attack a military site, we attack your civilians. And it's always the same idiotic policy. No, that's not the Dahiyya doctrine. The Dahiyya doctrine is just an extension of that. The extension of the broader deterrence mechanism that Israel thinks is very successful. And the only reason why Israel thinks this is successful is because America has allowed it to at least come across like it's successful, because the Western world has always offered unconditional support to Israel. That's it. And Israel was able to get away with it for 76 years without anybody really paying attention. Okay? Things were obviously a lot different. Yeah, here, Jabotinsky wrote an essay called The Iron Wall, where he described the Arabs would only stop resisting the Jewish state when they knew it was too strong and would give up on their hope of success. This, unfortunately, does not factor in the very real notion that the people on the other side have families. They are human beings. They have nowhere else to go, and they are constantly being bombed. And when you constantly bomb people, okay, when you constantly bomb people, when you apply the Dahia doctrine, for example, which would be a subset of the iron wall principle that we're talking about as a part of your deterrence mechanism, you are going to create a lot of enemies. Okay? You are going to consistently create a lot of enemies. We know this concept is blowback in the United States of America. Basically, I posterized my own career with that principle when I said America deserved 9/11 very famously. Okay? That's just what it is. There is going to be blowback. When you fuck around, you are going to have a find out moment. Okay? And it's very odd, very, very odd that Israel for 76 years has like gotten so comfortable with this, because the resistance to this kind of principle has always been very ascetic. It hasn't been super successful, with some exceptions, with notable exceptions, like obviously like the Lebanese withdrawal. Darzek says, I had a talk with a family member after the relatively recent Iran situation. I said, I don't know. I don't think attacking motherfucking Iran right now is a good idea. And the family member said, well, then they'll just see us as weak and want to do it again. Actual caveman behavior. Yeah, that's like instilled, I think, in the Israeli mindset. And I think Americans have this as well. We are just fortunate to be so fucking far removed from like our geopolitical condition, like our strategic landmass is so fucking far removed from like the serious threat of all of the shit that we cause around the world, that it's like very difficult. Yeah, the geographic isolation that we have has been incredibly beneficial for American dominance this way. So Israel can't really get away with that because they're in the neighborhood. Okay? It's like being a fucking Klansman in like Inglewood. Okay? The fuck are you doing? You could be a Klansman in Mississippi somewhere, in your own neighborhood, in a white neighborhood. You can't do that. You can't wear the robe. Coming from a Muslim, classic. I don't know what that means. Yeah, you can be a Klansman in Clanty, but you can't do it. You can't diss your own ops from their own hood while simultaneously fucking harming them too and creating more ops. So that's a major problem, which is very odd. And Israel has, like, I guess, grown far too comfortable thinking like, no, we'll always get bailed out. America will bail us out. America will bail us out. And there is a limit to how much America can bail you out. Okay?
Israel's missile defense system. So even though Israeli officials like the foreign minister are talking about destroying Hezbollah is showing that it's not a foe that should be underestimated in any sense of the word. Becky?
Yeah, this is not Hamas we are speaking about here. Paula, let me bring you in here, because as we discussed with Ben what is going on that northern front, which is a clear issue for the Israelis, there is a serious rift beginning to open up now between Benjamin Netanyahu and the Biden administration. Let's have a listen to what he had to say about Secretary of State Antony Blinken yesterday.
It's inconceivable that in the past few months, the administration has been withholding weapons and ammunition to Israel. Israel, America's closest ally.
But then again, how did you want Israel to respond to the initial attack on October 7th while they've gone overboard? They did nothing wrong in their initial response. Your initial response is wrong because you think that ultimately at the top of the hour that you can get away with saying stuff like this and that I won't retaliate in kind and serve you the 3-minute ad break. Okay? You just can't do that. You can't come in here and think that that shit is going to work. It's not going to work. It's not. That was not even a good bait, honestly, at this point. It's not even a good bait. It's a bad bait. Fuck off, chatter. They should have used the Mossad to target Hamas leadership instead of bombing Gaza, for fuck's sake. Wait, what are you talking about? That dude wasn't being serious. That dude was trying to fucking bait. It's a 10-10 copium. Okay, dude. Yeah, good one. Top of the hour. It's not even in the 5-minute grace period, but fuck it. I'm going to serve it anyway. I'm YOLOing. Like I said, At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime or by getting gifted a sub. It's Juneteenth. Gift a black chatter a subscription today. Do your part in being a good white ally. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. You know, at a certain fucking point, we just got handed to Israel for being the silliest. Yeah.
Fighting for its life, fighting against Iran and our other common enemies. Secretary Blinken assured me that the administration is working day and night to remove these bottlenecks. I certainly hope that's the case. It should be the case.
What's the perspective in Israel about why it is that Benjamin Netanyahu released that video yesterday very pointedly?
Because he's a bitch. Because he is a yapper. Because he is entitled. Because he is arrogant. Because he thinks he can just fucking push back on Biden, even though Biden is constantly going, please, sir, I will do whatever you want. What is this? Even a broken clock? Bro, Haaretz is crazy. Let's see if I can archive this. Haaretz goes nuts with the paywall, especially here. Boom. Get fucked, Haaretz. How do I fucking translate this page? There we go. IDF spokesman, destroying Hamas, throwing sand in the eyes of the public. Netanyahu, the IDF is not committed to this. The exchange is evidence of the continuation of the great tension between the political and military echelons regarding the continuation of the war. Yesterday, the IDF spokesman harshly attacked Netanyahu's close associate Yaakov Bardogo, who claimed the chief of staff supports the continued rule of Hamas in the Gaza Strip, and stated that this is a complete lie intended to harm the chief of staff and the IDF. Yeah. IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari said today that the matter of destroying Hamas, eliminating Hamas, is simply throwing sand in the eyes of the public. He clarified that the way to weaken Hamas is to establish a new government in the Gaza Strip, and the political echelon is responsible for that. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in response to the political security cabinet headed by me, defined as one of the goals of the war, the destruction of the military and governmental capabilities of Hamas. The IDF is, of course, committed to this. In an interview on Channel 13, Hagari said that Hamas is an idea. It is a party. It is rooted in the hearts of the people. Whoever thinks we can eliminate Hamas is wrong. It's the Muslim Brotherhood. It has been in the area for many, many years. To the question of what can be done about it, the IDF spokesman replied, grow something else, someone to replace him, something that will make the population know that someone else distributes the food, that someone else does the public service. Bro, this is like the only time I've ever heard this Dumbo motherfucker make sense. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of shocking that Brigadier Rear Admiral General, who has the largest ears I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, is actually hearing the Palestinian population's demands, I think, and recognizing that this is, you know, not a tenable situation. Maybe he heard me all the way from the United States of America and, you know, I got to him. I mean, he's 100% right about this. Who is this someone? The political echelon will decide. In order to reach a situation where you really want to weaken Hamas, this is the way. Every now and then, this is one of my favorite tropes, I guess, of Israeli society, is that every now and again, one of the most like bloodthirsty monsters will come out and just say the most correct thing. Okay, this is like a classic, you know, Shin Bet head says, consistently attacking the West Bank and doing like clan violence, like Jewish clan style violence in the West Bank is only going to harm Israeli national security. Or like when Ehud Barak was like, yeah, if I was Palestinian, I would be a terrorist 100%. It's always, there's always a moment like that. Okay. There's always a moment like that. And this is Daniel Hagari's moment. The only people that never have moments like that is Benjamin Netanyahu and like the Itamar Ben-Gvirs. This is correct. This is perfectly valid. This is a perfectly valid criticism to make because it's true. Hagari noted that the IDF is close, and then of course he follows it up by saying is close to defeating the Rafah Brigade, which was part of October 7 and part of Hamas's oxygen pipeline. At the same time, he clarified that if we don't bring something else to Gaza, At the end of the day, we will accept Hamas. Regarding the issues of the abductees, he emphasized, it will be impossible to return all abductees in military operations. We will have to reach a situation where the abductees are returned in another way. The role of the army is to create possible conditions. The role of the political echelon is to make these decisions. After the response from Netanyahu's office, the IDF spokesman published another statement in which he sought to clarify that the army is committed to achieving the goals of the war as defined by the cabinet, has been working this way throughout the war, day and night, and will continue to do so. Yeah, and then they yelled at him, so he had to fucking come out with a follow-up to be like, no, you don't understand. We're still doing whatever the cabinet tells us. Okay? How is a Zionist-led or collaborative government going to bring a liberation and the end to an apartheid? Listen, man, it's just pressure. There's not much else you can do, okay? I'm not saying that like magically American leadership is going to personally turn around one day and be like, you know what, we were wrong. Palestinians are human beings, okay? But there's only so much stress any kind of foundation can take. U.S. canceled a meeting with Israel. Yeah, that's nothing. That's because Benjamin Netanyahu said this, so they had to like do something optically to make it seem like they're punishing Israel. It's bullshit. I mean, look at the batshit insane to think murdering 40K doesn't make that job harder, but the basic idea is obviously true. He also went on Channel 14 later to basically apologize and say, no, guys, the war is still good and we need military pressure, so don't jump the praises. Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't think the Israelis are underestimating Hezbollah, and to be honest, most want to avoid it. Do you think a ceasefire with Hamas has any chance of stopping the escalation up north? I don't think that Israelis are underestimating. I think Israelis are underestimating Hezbollah. I think the appetite for going into Lebanon in Israel is pretty fucking big. I think that there is a lot of internal pressure from the public, especially in northern Israel, but across the board, and especially in the settler side of things, that they do definitely want to go into southern Lebanon. I think that you are wrong to think that the Israeli population doesn't want to go in and repeat the mistakes. I think part of that is that Israel, due to the Iron Dome and due to the unimaginable amount of funding it's gotten from the Western world, and due to the political security that it's gotten, due to the political capital that the United States expends at the behest of Israel regularly, has created a neat little bubble where the population doesn't see the genuine negative consequences, or hasn't ever met the genuine negative consequences of waging this kind of war, both physically, because like the maximum amount of like fear that they feel is when they like safely go into a fucking bomb shelter. It's become a part of like normal process in Israel, a normal way of life in Israel. Like they'll bring it up and talk about how scary it is, but even then it feels like it's like there is no real threat there. Okay, if there was a real and genuine threat, they would not be this fucking adamant about opening up new fronts of war without thinking about their own personal, without thinking about like what the personal consequences might look like for them, because they've never actually experienced it. October 7 was one of the first moments where Israeli society genuinely felt the veil of security shatter. Okay, and their reaction was unhinged, just like America. So I don't think they truly understand the consequences. The anti-Zionist Israelis in this chat see it. They know exactly what will inevitably happen. They probably see the pressure that is being applied to Israeli society. They're in here. They're seeing a much different type of coverage on Israel than the type of media coverage you hear inside of Israel, right? And I don't know. I don't know where this goes, I guess. I just don't really understand how Israel can continue going along with this, especially when the world has soured on Israel dramatically. It is very different. Since 2021, things have changed. Like the course, the trajectory for Israel has changed dramatically once all these like NGOs started calling Israel an apartheid state, which it was. You know, it was no longer like seen as a major faux pas to just like correctly call out Israel as an apartheid state. And then post October 7, the activities basically, you know, got a lot of people to recognize that Israel is very brutal. I don't think that they understand that they're becoming pariahs to the rest of the world. It's definitely, I mean, it is definitely going to shake up Israeli society. I'm Israeli myself, so I'm just sharing the perspective while I'm seeing around me. While there's a general consensus, sorry, Gravy Johns, you got clapped by Fossabot because your message was too long, but I'm going to read it. I'm Israeli myself, so I'm just sharing the perspective I'm seeing around me. While there's a general consensus that the war in Gaza is justified, the prospect of a war in Lebanon is not something any of us want. My circles are mostly military-age men. The second Lebanon war was not good. Kind of futile fight that got us no one except for losing soldiers. Even the bloodthirsty ones want to avoid the toll it would take to fight on the northern front. Do we have any polling on this? I want to see. That would be very smart, to be fair. Doesn't the pariah status get swept away as anti-Semitism? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's one very successful way to just like, one very successful way to be like, no, the rest of the world doesn't understand. The rest of the world doesn't understand. Like, because it's so embedded into Zionism. It's so embedded into the national consciousness that like Israel has to exist. Okay? Israel has to exist in the way that it does as a Jewish ethno-state. And obviously, when there are, you know, millions of people living there, the indigenous population living there, and are not going away, you have to maintain an apartheid. You have to be this violent because you're in a bad neighborhood, right? And that people simply don't get it because they must be anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitism certainly ties into the national consciousness and the nation building inside of Israel. So I think that it is one way that I think people can just like cast aside all of the criticisms, but it is creating even more of an isolated population. We've seen this since October 7, and it's gotten only worse. What do I mean by this? I think that I think that like people genuinely can't comprehend inside of Israel like how so many people have turned sour on Israel. And there's only two ways out of this. You either start recognizing that like maybe the actions of the Israeli military, maybe the actions of the Israeli state is creating valid disgust for those who can see who are in the Western world, or it's all just anti-Semitism and you further isolate yourself and you think, no, it must be anti-Semitism. Majority of the Jewish Israelis support full force attack against Hezbollah, says poll. Regarding Gaza, most Jewish Israelis prefer a civil administration by Palestinian elements and Arab states with Israel responsible for security. 62% of Jewish Israelis support an attack on Hezbollah in Lebanon with full force. This is from June 17th. Holy shit. There you go. 62% of Jewish Israelis support an attack on Hezbollah in Lebanon with full force. Now that's much lower as far as percentages go than like continuing the brutal occupation in Gaza, the brutal siege in Gaza. But I guess it's down from 10%. 71% of Israelis in favor of operation against, according to this Maariv poll, 71% in February were in favor of an operation against Lebanon. So I guess the attitude is shifting, which is interesting. If there is one thing I have seen throughout history, though, throughout Israeli history, okay, throughout Israeli history, they do respond to force. It is like, it legitimately, like I've never seen a nation actually see the consequences and then turn around and go, you know what, fuck it, actually, maybe we shouldn't do this. No, some people respond to force negatively. Israel responds to force from the Palestinian population with no restraint because they think the Palestinian population is servile. They think the Palestinian population are, you know, subhuman. It's the same arrogance and the same supremacist attitudes that are so so solidified in Israeli collective consciousness that they think they're all children, they're all elderly, they're all disabled. We can do whatever the fuck we want. They're weak, so we can double down on the force. But when it came down to Iran, for example, when there was a little back and forth with a little bit of brinksmanship against Iran, they had a very different attitude against opening up a new front with Iran. And I think this is going on with Hezbollah as well. If you look at the population percentages, like the appetite that the population has in like you know, going into Lebanon versus continuing the bombing campaign in Gaza. The bombing campaign in Gaza has gotten like 80% support from the Jewish population of Israel, whereas the Jewish population of Israel, it's only 62%, which is still incredibly high, and it's still fucking crazy for the record. But it is interesting to you know, it is interesting to note that that difference. The more powerful the enemy is in the eyes of Israel, the higher likelihood that the enemy has to actually strike them internally, the less likely they are to go and you know, fuck shit up, I guess. Even then though, still a pretty high percentage. Last poll I saw showed 46% Jewish population support a wide-scale offensive. This shit varies a lot depending on how the question is framed and whether or not non-Jews are included. Yeah, for sure. Fascism is about subjugation of an outgroup, not about fighting per se. Israel doesn't want a fair fight. Fascism is colonialism turned inwards. Yeah. Yeah, we'll watch the Zateo documentary. A couple people have sent me some stuff. Mehdi Hassan sent me the Zateo documentary, at least the trailer for it. It's also kind of how you, like, because Israel only has one way to respond to everything, this is how they fucking responded every single time. Like, the world will be like, hey, you need to dial it back, and they respond by just hitting those who have no power. That's why every single time Israel finds itself in the crosshairs of like any kind of scrutiny, they respond by doubling down on the most marginalized populations. They have one fucking speed, boys. That's it. Anyway, let's go back to this analysis and we'll continue talking.
Speaking there about
I gotta pee again.
Conversation with Antony Blinken.
And speaking in English, Becky, so it's very clear that the audience is American, the audience is international. This is not for domestic considerations. Now, it's no secret that there are differences between the Israeli leader and the US President Joe Biden. They've certainly had their differences over recent months, not least because the US has been pushing Israel to be more careful in Gaza, to push for this ceasefire, something that the Israeli Prime Minister has not openly said that he will agree to, this ceasefire hostage deal, and also pushing for a Palestinian state, something that the Israeli Prime Minister has said he does not support. So the differences between these two sides are very pronounced. It is surprising, though, that he would come out and do this so publicly, washing dirty laundry in public, if you like. And it did have quite a surprised response from the Biden administration as well. Listen to this.
We, as you know, are continuing to review one shipment that President Biden has talked about with regard to 2,000-pound bombs because of our concerns about their use in a densely populated area. Like Rafah, that remains under review, but everything else is moving as it normally would move.
We generally do not know what he's talking about. We just don't.
And there's no Israeli official at this point that's going on the record to speak about this. No one appears to want to have their name next to this video. Becky?
You see what I mean? Lauren, let me bring you in at this point, because all of this happening just ahead of Benjamin Netanyahu's visit to Washington in July to address Congress. We have seen some pushback already, with some lawmakers saying that they will boycott that. Have a listen to Senator Elizabeth Warren earlier.
Do you plan to attend Prime Minister Netanyahu's address to Congress?
No. Look, we need a ceasefire. We need to get those hostages back. We need humanitarian relief. And we need to be giving both parties a big shove toward getting to the negotiating table and working out a peaceful solution.
Should the president make clear that he should not address Congress, Netanyahu?
Look, that's up to the president, but I'm not going.
Well, Joe Biden facing some quite serious backlash within his own party on this, isn't it? And he's...
The Biden admin should just turn around and say, fuck you, Netanyahu. We're pulling all your military aid under review. The U.S. has that power to flex. The Biden admin just won't use it. Yes, the U.S. has had that power since day one, though. You understand? So that's not a thing.
Really looking at a dilemma ahead of November's election. Explain, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, this is still a month away, and I think it's clear that there are
I
many
thought we were boycotting Disney, Hassan. No, I mean, with the exception of last night, I've been boycotting Disney, but no, that's not on the BDS list.
progressive Democrats who plan to boycott Netanyahu's speech when he comes to address Congress in July. But this is really coming from two different places. You know, on the one hand, there is...
What would happen if the U.S. stopped all export of weapons to Israel? Super simple. Israel immediately turns around and follows whatever the fuck America wants to set as far as the conditions of like a ceasefire with all of the neighboring regions. If America has that interest, Israel will absolutely follow. That's the reason, like, BDS movements work on our allies. Sanctions work on allies. Sanctions don't work on enemies in the same way. Sanctions towards our enemies is simply cruelty. Sanctions towards our allies, on the other hand, will get the job done because our allies require our unlimited support, our unconditional support. They have built their society around our unconditional support, which is precisely the reason why sanctions don't work against Cuba, but sanctions absolutely do work, or did work against, apartheid South Africa. Sorry, Warger fucking wrote something and it fucked me up. Probably not. So if you're working on that video, don't.
just disagreement with Netanyahu's handling of this conflict in the Middle East. On the other, there's also this feeling from some liberals that you are putting Joe Biden in this position where someone who has been critical of the president is coming and addressing Congress just months before the November election. So it's really sort of the policy.
Doesn't Israel have their own weapons manufacturing or create one? Bro, Israel has run out of munitions multiple times throughout their fucking bombing campaign in Gaza. I don't think you guys understand the amount of bombing required, like the amount of fucking back and forth. The amount of munitions required for Ukraine to defend itself is unimaginably high. The amount of munitions required for Israel to continue bombing Gaza is unimaginably high. It's so much so that, like, I don't even think America can keep it up. Okay, you're forgetting something very important here, which is that, like, there is a finite amount of bombs. There's a finite amount of munitions. There's a finite amount of manufacturing that we can engage in. So, like, no, without our support, they would have run out of bullets by like the first week. Disney isn't on the BDS list, but it is a pressure target. Talking about Disney pride to thousands of people definitely runs counter to praxis / point of pressure targets. Just letting you know. First of all, I didn't even know that Disney was on a pressure target list for the BDS. Secondly, as you know, I literally am pro-Israel, and therefore I did it for that reason, because I'm actually secretly pro-Israel. And not even secretly, openly pro-Israel. And I think that, you know, although I've been an advocate for BDS for the past 10 fucking years, I've actually been secretly doing as much as I can to consume as many of the products as possible and promote those products. I am a traitor to the left. The only radical action this chatter has done against Disney is yell at you. Yes, I have been found out. I don't believe you. Say you love Sabra hummus now. Bro, gun to my head, I would not say that. Has not... And that isn't even BDS shit. Like, I just personally find Sabra hummus to be such a fucking gross thing, like an affront to God in general. It's just like, ugh. Yeah, I'm a Zionist and I like playing on hard mode, just like my LGBT and racial equality stances, because I want a harder fight. Yes, I know the Fatah activist, psychopathic freak lord dipshit right here. We'll talk about this in a second. Yeah, Amazon is a pressure target on the BDS list as well, by the way. I know that one, for the record. We are currently inside of the pressure target. Tell us where falafel comes from then. Israel, of course. That's right. Israel invented falafel. Everybody knows this. I love Israel. All right, let's continue. The only ethical company is Kick, technically.
Politics abroad and also the politics at home that they don't agree with. You have to keep in mind this is happening in the context in which the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, has put a series of really tough votes on the floor that have fractured Democrats in some cases. Now, there's really typically just a small number of Democrats that vote with Republicans on some of those proposals, but it has been one of the most difficult conflicts for the leader, the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, to manage within his conference. And so, I expect that there is going to be a large number of Democrats boycotting Netanyahu's address to Congress. We should note that about a decade ago when he came to Capitol Hill, there were also dozens of Democrats who boycotted the speech, so that's not precisely new, but I think the numbers might be larger. It's also possible that they have press conferences or some kind of other counter programming when he comes to speak. So it would go beyond just not showing up for the speech. It would be sort of more of a tacit opposition as well.
In our politics lead, Ozempic and Wegovy, two.
What? Sanders calls on Ozempic maker to lower price of drug. Inconceivable. Bernie Sanders slams Netanyahu's approach to the war against Hamas. Jesus Christ. What an insane sequence, dude. Holy fuck. This is 414,000 likes. We'll talk about the boys in a second and all this shit as well. Oh, the second entertainment offering cut in 3 weeks since character performers voted to unionize. The final performance of Doctor Strange Mysteries of the Mystic Arts in Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure Park is said to be on June 30th, Disney officials told the OC Register. This is a direct consequence of the unionization efforts happening at Disney, something that I wanted to mention. Sarcastically saying, yeah, okay, I'm a Zionist in response to being educated on something you admit. Dude, shut the fuck up. I literally fucking work on Amazon. What are you talking about? Amazon is a pressure target as well. Okay. You're just up to me and was like, are you drinking Coca-Cola? No. That's it. And you're doing it while I'm fucking talking about Disney's like anti-union efforts too, which is ridiculous. Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, brother can't even go to Disneyland without drama. Yeah, I just like, it's fucking so stupid. Yeah. This seemingly is the one thing that people are demanding to boycott, by the way. Marvel's apartheid Israel superhero movie, Captain America New World Order. Like, that's the only thing I can find, but I'm sure there's more. Yeah, that's it. Like, when you look at fucking BDS Disney, this is the only thing that comes up. So Chatter's not even fucking right. But you know what Chatter is? Fucking annoying. Okay? Like, your heart is in the right place, Chatter, but your attitude is in the wrong place. Okay? Is that the one that's supposed to have Israeli Captain America? Yeah, I think so. I bet you with some TikTok BDS list that you're also on. Yes. They're not saying I'm like, no. The thing is, that chatter is not saying I'm being insufficient. Like, that chatter is not saying I'm like pro-Israel secretly. That chatter is just simply saying the total amount, like 2.5 million plus dollars that this community has raised in numerous fundraisers over the course of the past 9 months for Palestinian Palestinian organizations working on the ground inside of the Gaza Strip, and the round the clock coverage for every single day. The round the clock coverage every single day for the past 9 fucking months is insufficient, because it's just insufficient because there is like an aspect of this. There's an aspect of this like BDS coverage that I did not foresee, that they saw, that they caught me in a moment. Like, it's ridiculous. It's just simply to be like, I am way more fucking educated on this matter than you. It's just a way to just one up. It's one upping, but with like a position of moral authority. Okay. And that's very frustrating. Anyway, here, like, this is the reason why they're on the pressure target, what we just showed you, which is literally just, wait, where the fuck did it go? Here. Disney-owned Marvel Studios is promoting the next Captain America film superhero that personifies apartheid Israel. Both companies are therefore complicit in anti-Palestinian racism. Like, that's it. That's what they're talking about. Okay? Manage your triggers is getting old. Shut the fuck up, man. Who the fuck are you? Okay? Yeah, they have a hero named, Marvel has a hero named Sabra that literally works for the Mossad. And this is going to introduce Sabra. And that's the reason why they want to fucking pressure Disney into not releasing this, or not releasing Sabra, or not unveiling Sabra as a character. So odd. You complain, but that's basically the criticism of all leftism, like XQC saying, weird that Hassan is always on the good side. Wait, what? I'm complaining because people don't fucking know what they're talking about and take a position of like trying to position themselves as a moral authority on issues that they do not personally fucking understand. That's the thing I'm complaining about. The overarching goal here is not to educate. The overarching goal here is to simply chirp. That's it. Why are we having this conversation again? It's like saying you're not sufficiently socialist because you have a fucking house. It stems from a misunderstanding. Okay? Do you not get it? It stems from your own personal misunderstanding, not from like a genuinely held personal conviction born out of like your morality. There's a difference between someone saying, wow, you seemingly are always on the right side of issues versus someone positioning themselves above you and being like, no, you're actually on the wrong side here. It is a genuine, there is a genuine narcissistic tendency on the left where people try to do this on a regular basis. It's a way to just recenter the conversation around you, okay? Under the auspices of educating another person. It is very smarmy. It is very entitled. It is very arrogant. It is very annoying. Okay? Do you not get that? It's just so frustrating to experience on a regular basis, especially because I try to do cleanup all the fucking time. Anyway, it's fine. Here is a Zeteo original documentary for their new film, Israel's Real Extremism, from Basement Films, on Israeli society's shift to the right, with exclusive interviews with Israeli soldiers who post TikToks from Gaza.
Here's a soldier saying that they destroyed the university. There's no more education now in Gaza.
I think the education in Gaza was something you need to preserve.
People find it's humiliating, you know.
Oh, maybe humiliating. I don't.
Home,
as I told you before, I don't see any problem with humiliating the Palestinians. There is nothing which humiliates them.
There's a feeling of superiority. Day to day, I walk with a feeling of superiority over Gaza. Who wouldn't feel superior to them?
Since the war in Gaza started, Israeli soldiers on the front line have been broadcasting the devastation and their dehumanization of Palestinians on social media.
When I filmed it, my commander was very, they want me to do it.
There's videos where they've shown that they've tortured captives.
They didn't torture captives. You are lying. You are lying, and you are lying. They are not torture captives. They are going.
This is a video where Israeli French soldier put a video out.
Investigated.
Extremists who were once considered fringe are becoming more mainstream, emboldened by the rhetoric they hear.
Oh my God. Isn't BDS something to take seriously? I'm confused. Dude, a pressure target and a boycott target is different in the way that you analyze it, in the way that you talk about it. A pressure target for a specific reason, like a movie, is supposed to be narrowly focused on within the confines of said target, the target of their ire, the target of their reasonable criticism. Okay? Part of the reason why, and I can't believe we're doing like basics of fucking BDS every time this conversation comes up, but it's an informative and important thing to address, so I'm going to do it again. Okay? And this is all clearly defined on the BDS website personally, if you would like to understand it. There are varying degrees of different measures that you can take. Okay? Varying degrees of different measures you can take. Part of the reason why these lists have to be super narrowly focused is so that they can be successful. If people start making their own personal lists and engage in their own personal campaigns, okay, ultimately it causes the movement to be decentralized. Here, let's do a short, this is good.
Israel could lose up to $11.5 billion a year if the boycott, divestment and sanctions movement peaks. That's if the EU legislates to boycott all Israeli goods and blocks foreign investment into the state. Is this likely to happen? Well, opinions vary. Israel's government economists say it's hard to predict, but it is possible. Foreign investment into Israel fell to around $6 billion in 2014. That's the same.
Sorry, Chatter, you're better off asking a different stream, I guess. What are you saying? I'm literally going, shut up, take a week off. I'm using this as an opportunity to both educate that chatter and anyone else who is confused about this.
Same year, they launched a deadly offensive on Gaza that killed 1,462 civilians. But by 2016, that figure had doubled to almost $12 billion. What about exports? Washington-based Brookings Institute says consumer boycotts won't drastically affect Israel's economy, but data from the World Bank shows Israel's intermediate exports dropped by nearly $8 billion in that same period. Consumer boycotts work with academic and cultural boycotts. If people refuse to work with Israeli academic institutions for their involvement in, let's say, the strategies behind the use of disproportionate force against the Palestinians, or musicians refuse to perform in Israel in solidarity with the people of Gaza and the West Bank, it gets people talking. Lord Elvis Costello, Lauryn Hill, they've all refused to play in Israel, and other artists are openly advocating for BDS.
How can I work with any institution complicit in Israeli human rights abuses?
These smaller boycotts are supposed to start a chain reaction.
Sanctions is the ultimate. That's why it's B, D comes at the end. It's no coincidence, because you need a lot of B and D to reach the S.
And it's slowly working. Companies are closing up shop in Israel. Some have been refused lucrative contracts explicitly for their involvement in Israeli occupation projects. Others are speculated to have been pressured by the BDS campaign into submission, but whatever their motives, they've divested from Israel. A UN report has also found 206 companies that are linked to illegal settlements. The companies' activities range from banking and telecom to construction and tourism. Their names are being withheld until they've all been contacted. US Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley reportedly threatened the UN Human Rights Council with a cut in funding if the names were to be published. South American states have also disassociated themselves. Venezuela and Bolivia have cut ties with Israel, and Brazil refused to allow former leader of the settler movement, Danny Dayan, to be Israel's ambassador in the country.
The communities we established decades ago in the Jordan Valley will be here forever because they are essential for Israel's existence.
BDS, more than anything, is impacting brand Israel.
I'm less concerned today about any potential economic consequences. It's all about what you think of Israel, and whether you think Israelis are the good guys or the bad guys.
Image on the world stage would matter to any country. It's no different for Israel. Many prominent Israelis have claimed BDS is anti-Semitic and even a threat to the existence of Israel itself.
We're in the midst of an orchestrated global campaign to delegitimize Israel.
Mr. Asad Abu Khalil, who he knows very well, is a leader of the BDS movement. He writes, the real aim of BDS is to bring down the state of Israel.
The objectives of the BDS movement are: one, the liberation and the end of this occupation. Number two, the return of refugees to their homes and to their livelihoods. Number three is
I thought consumer side activism wasn't effective unless it's being pushed by governments. No, consumer side activism works alongside many other pressure points as long as it is directed, targeted, deliberate, and has a clear-cut goal. The goal of boycotting or divestments or demanding divestments comes along with the ultimate goal of putting sanctions, hopefully, that will cause Israel to come to terms with the cruel and uniquely evil way that they conduct their apartheid regime. Okay? It is about organizing. There's a difference between doing a general strike led by many large unions in the country that takes years and years and a shit ton of effort and a shit ton of structural support that you need to build along the way to actually successfully implement, versus a general strike on Reddit, okay? On a subreddit that decided we're going to do a general strike. Do you understand the difference? That's why I care about the BDS movement and support the BDS movement versus criticizing decentralized organized movements or disorganized movements online, okay? Although I still won't step in the way of people trying to do their, try to do their best in their own unique ways. I usually don't talk about this stuff. I usually don't talk about people getting out of hand until it becomes a point where it's like genuinely until it becomes a genuine point of contention even in this community. Okay? When you said the statement regarding consumer side activism in regards to the Hogwarts legacy shit, the next words were unlike the BDS movement. Exactly.
the end of apartheid and segregation and discrimination against Palestinians inside Israel and everywhere else.
Israel has refused all three time and again. The Netanyahu government instead enacted anti-BDS legislation at home and gave covert power to the Ministry of Strategic Affairs to tackle BDS abroad.
And before you say our dollars are really going to Israel, regardless of whether we support these companies, it really does seem like every U.S. company is involved with Israel on some level. Yes, Israel has more companies in the NASDAQ than literally India, Korea, and Japan combined. Okay? Yes. And that is only more evidence that BDS has to be hyper-targeted. Because if you were to technically say we're removing literally all connection from the state of Israel and any company that works with the state of Israel, it would mean just, closing your eyes and not breathing. Okay. That is the reason why, for example, there is no direct boycotting of Amazon, even though it is on a list of pressure targets according to the BDS list. But I am an Amazon employee. working on an Amazon-owned platform. You guys are watching this Amazon-owned platform every day, right? That's why, as in terms of pressure targets, the Disney thing is like akin, if not way less offensive than Amazon. Okay, I'm literally on Amazon every day. Why is that not a full-blown boycott target? One, because of its involvement in Israel being limited, and two, because it would be impossible to boycott AWS. Okay. Oops, I didn't know that. See you later. Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Weird but trans. Take a day off. Hogwarts literally gave money directly to J.K. Rowling. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous to sound like. Seriously, I don't agree with you on this one issue. Unless I'm missing something, can someone explain it to me? What the fuck? Just take 30 minutes off, cool down a little bit. Okay. Just take 30 minutes off, cool down. We're not going to relitigate Hogwarts Legacy, which I was like objectively correct on from the jump. I can't believe we're still having Hogwarts Legacy discourse still in 2024. You know your chat will get like this. I know, which is why I take the time and the effort to explain this stuff. That is my goal, is to educate people. Okay. Which is why it's so funny when people go, Hassan, classic Hassan community. It's like, dude, I spend every fucking day, I spend at least an hour every fucking day trying to, reframe the trajectory of this goddamn community and just like set us on the right path. And yet people still don't pay attention to me doing that and instead go, see, of course they're like this. As though I'm the one who is doing that. I rail against purity spirals on a daily fucking basis. It's so tiring. It's so tiring that I have to repeat myself all the time. And it's like extra annoying when outsiders look at this community and just associate someone like myself with a person who legitimately loves purity testing and purity spirals. Honestly, chatters need to stop and consider, am I actually trying to provide a solution to a problem, or am I just trying to one-up Hassan? This type of chatting isn't activism or helping anyone. Thank you. Exactly. Here, this is a really good post. Why is Starbucks not a boycott target? Why not boycotting everything we can? What if I already boycott these companies? Answering some of the most frequently asked questions. The BDS movement carefully evaluates and prioritizes targeted companies based on the level of their complicity in Israel's violation of Palestinian rights, among other targeting criteria. This process involves rigorous research and consultation with partners to ensure that our boycotts are impactful. The B in BDS is all about collective strategic targeting of all the most complicit companies and institutions. While boycotting a particular company such as Starbucks or Zara may be justified for various reasons, it might not meet the specific BDS criteria or have that same level of longer-term impact on the ground as targeting companies which are currently among our priority boycott targets. It is also important to note that the landscape of corporate complicity is constantly evolving. If new information comes to light indicating that a company is significantly contributing to Israel's genocide or as a regime of settler colonial apartheid, we will consider prioritizing it. In the meantime, we boycott. What? In the meantime, we encourage people to remain engaged and informed about the broader Palestinian-led BDS movement and to support our existing campaigns, which are designed to address the most egregious violators, impose on them a hefty cost, and force them to end their complicity. What's wrong with going beyond BDS targets and boycotting all companies complicit in Israeli crimes? The passion and commitment to justice behind the will to boycott every company that's complicit with the genocidal Israeli regime are commendable, and we understand that many people wish to make informed and ethical decisions as individual consumers. But to be effective, our efforts must be collective. The BDS movement strategically focuses on a small number of targets to mobilize mass pressure against them, ensuring that our efforts are impactful. By forcing a strategic target to end complicity, we teach many other complicit companies a lesson. That's why, for example, even though it was like relatively decentralized, the Bud Light boycott campaign technically worked because conservatives lasered in on one company. You know what's ironic? At the time, Matt Walsh literally said basically this about Bud Light. Matt Walsh said this exact same shit. He was like, we only go after one company and not all of these other companies. And we, I admire the intensity and people trying to fucking apply pressure to all these other companies. But it's good to just have a larger impact by focusing our efforts on one product or one company. He was right. Strategic focus. The BDS targets are curated to include companies and institutions that are directly and significantly complicit in Israel's violation of Palestinian rights and against which we can actually win. Sustainability. Maintaining focused boycotts ensures that individuals and communities can sustain their participation and escalate pressure as needed until the objectives are met. Clarity and coherence. The BDS list of boycott targets provides clear and coherent, morally consistent guidelines for action, making it easier for supporters to understand and participate in the movement. Building alliances. The BDS movement works in solidarity with a wide range of partners and justice movements to support our strategic campaigns. By sticking to a concise number of targets, we can maintain strong alliances and coordinate our efforts, which are crucial for achieving our goals. Effectiveness. Targeted boycotts give us collective leverage to push for specific changes and hold entities accountable in a way that broad, unfocused boycotts cannot. So if you must boycott a long list of companies, we ask that you always prioritize BDS companies. Why not focus more on companies whose products many people consume daily, like food and beverages, instead of companies like Intel and Chevron? The BDS movement, which, by the way, struck a significant W with Intel. Intel refused to open up their $25 billion factory in Israel as a consequence of this. Okay? The BDS movement targets companies like Intel and Chevron because of their direct and significant involvement sustaining. Dude, if one more Turkish chatter asks me this Kuzey Güney shit, I'm going to fucking lose it. I don't know what it is. People keep coming in here and constantly asking this. I don't know why. Okay? Targeting such companies creates substantial pressure for corporate accountability and draws significant media attention, amplifying the impact of our campaigns. This approach ensures that our efforts are focused on entities that directly support Israel's human rights violations. While everyday consumer goods companies are important and included in our list, McDonald's and Pizza Hut, for instance, prioritizing the most complicit companies maximize their impact in isolating apartheid Israel globally. Short summary of what I assume they're asking: a guy who debated a pro-Sharia guy on YouTube and now has an arrest warrant for him in Turkey, but he is not in Turkey and says he won't come back. That's it? I don't know what that is. BDS is a purity spiral. Far too complicated for the average person to understand. Let's be for fucking real, man. No, BDS is the bare minimum. You're insane. And it is also ultimately a successful movement. It has been a successful movement in the past against apartheid South Africa. So yes, if you think that BDS is a purity spiral, unless you're trying to fucking do a... I'm putting up fucking boycott on the top of the hour ad break debates from chatters. Okay, in the middle of like me trying to educate people. I'm putting a boycott on that chatter, thinking that that's a valuable way to debate me at the top of the hour when there's a 3-minute ad break coming up. Okay, maybe we do need to have this conversation if it wasn't a bait. No, I think that was a bait. All everyday consumer goods and pizza we encourage everyone to support these strategic campaigns to help dismantle Israel's decades-old regime, settler, colonial state, and apartheid. Why is Puma still a boycott target despite announcing it will renew its contract with the Israeli Football Association? Puma remains on the BDS boycott list because despite announcing it will now renew its kit supply contract with the IFA. The sponsorship contract remains valid until the end of the year. Yeah, participate in the campaigns, advocate for divestment, spread awareness if you already boycott these companies, and continue contacting the companies and stay informed. Okay? All companies under capitalism are obviously engaging in unethical practices in one way, shape, or form. If you are an anti-capitalist, you have to recognize that reality. That is why instead of saying like, I will not consume any capitalist corporation's product and then like living in the fucking mountains myself, okay, I try to do my very best to create pressure targets, pressure points, focus on unionization, rather than sitting around and hoping that like magically capitalism will perish. Okay, sometimes you have to be targeted in order to be effective. Now target your efforts on securing a subscription at the top of the hour because the 3-minute ad break is upon us. That's why you buy $1 million house. No, I buy $1 million house because I live in a place where only $1 million house exists and I have the money to buy $1 million house. Okay, I don't buy $1 million house to rent it out. If I buy $1 million house to rent, then, you know, we can have a different conversation. Yeah. I want to see you do a Mr. Beast style video where you try and buy a house in LA for under $1 million. Yeah, so I can get fucking ass blasted again. Always the house. No, the other one, the real one is supposed to be the Porsche. You're supposed to say you have Porsche, you have Gucci shirt. Those are definitely way worse purchases than the house for me and my family. Yeah, those are impulse purchases. I am, you know, I have never been a person that is living this like Spartan lifestyle. I never claimed to be. The Taycan is dog shit compared to the Tessie. No, Teslas are awful. Most education chat has all this energy for the house discourse without understanding it. but probably think furries flexing their 5-figure fursuits and expensive commission Volpera sex art and call it authentic representation of the working class like Starbucks. We see how, wait, what? But what is more peak capitalism than buying all these luxury goods which are built upon the exploitation? Oh, you fucking missed it. Chatter was trying to debate me. Why are you banning smart chatters who are trying to fucking relitigate house discourse, dude, and car discourse? No, dude. It is perfectly valid in every sense of the word. And I have always advocated for people to want to get nice things for themselves. Okay? The world ultimately is gruesome and awful. I think people genuinely misunderstand the major reasons for why I advocate for the things I advocate for in terms of more autonomy, in terms of more individual liberties. It is so that you can have more money, more disposable income in the short term, so that you can also engage in idiotic purchases if it makes you feel good. I have never had an issue with commodity consumption. I will never have an issue with commodity consumption. I am not a degrowth style anti-capitalist. I personally have always, regardless of how fucking broke I was, have always said these exact same things. There's a conversation that I had with Philosophy Tube way back in the day where I specifically talked about the most successful neoliberal mechanisms of control. Commodity purchases, especially stupid ones, have a way to dull people's sensibilities. And I think that's if there is always going to be some kind of control that needs to be instilled upon a population so that they fucking rise up, then I would rather have that be done in that way than a more authoritarian way of doing things. Okay? Socialism is not a poverty cult. It has never been a poverty cult. It is actually anti-socialists who have presented socialism as a poverty cult. And many people personally subscribe to that notion, even if they themselves they themselves think that they are a genuine anti-capitalists. It is liberalism that makes you feel this way. Okay? Stick so seething at carrot chads? Yes. At the end of the day, it is not the boss that makes the things that you purchase and consume and use, like the iPhone. It is the workers that made the iPhone. The iPhone, or some form of the iPhone, even if it's not called the iPhone, would still exist under other organizations of the economy. After all, the USSR literally played a fundamental role in the development of all of the technologies that we currently take advantage of, such as the mobile phone. Okay? Working a job to buy a car to drive to a job is a poverty cult? Yeah. Man, I love Hassan. Makes me feel normal. He's so great. Yes. I try.
They successfully lobbied a number of US states to punish
Okay, we're done with the BDS side of this conversation. Let's get back to, I don't know if I want to listen to fucking Bernie Sanders talk about Benjamin Netanyahu, but here, he's asking Ozempic to lower the price of the drug.
And our politics lead, Ozempic, and
It's ridiculous to have this kind of take, is it? Let's go ahead.
Wegovy, two drugs that everyone's talking about, in part because they have the potential to be life-changing for millions.
I forgot to finish this fucking documentary. Oh my God, a 2-minute trailer.
That by blocking the aid going to Gaza,
I already ran the top of the hour.
Palestinians who are already suffering are starving.
It's a wrong question, okay? Because the aid gets to Hamas.
The issue for Israel now goes well beyond the occupation.
Always be the response of the West. We are exaggerating, but we are working.
I think there should be life in Gaza on the day after. This is good. This is from Zeteo, and I'm actually excited to see what this looks like. Shouts out to Mehdi Hassan. He's doing a great job since he left MSNBC. Much respect. There's also an Al Jazeera documentary coming out. Some of my friends worked on this. Friends of the show. Friends that I have interviewed on this broadcast. Specifically, I am referring to, where is it? Yeah, Mohammed El Safin. They want me to do no. Oh, wait. No, he didn't work on it. He just reached out for me to. The producer wondering if you'd be interested in advanced screening If you watch and want to interview the producers, host, we can arrange that. I've seen the film. And of all the shit that's come out of Gaza in the last 8 months, is one of the strongest pieces of journalism, in my opinion. It's not gory, but it's shattering. Let me know. Friends of the show. So the guy from Yemen, right, lol? No, the guy from Yemen, the teenager from Yemen did not work on this. It's crazy. All right, let's watch this trailer as well.
We have counted more children killed in a single strike than we have in any other conflict, time and time again.
Hind was screaming for help.
It's very likely that they would have been able to see who was in the car.
The US has actual knowledge that war crimes are being committed. Of course we do. And yet we continue to provide the arms that enable these.
We have not seen anything that would convince us that we need to take a different approach in terms of trying to help Israel defend itself.
You are basically saying the rules are no longer applicable. They have opened the door to hell.
Your message to the families of Palestinian civilians who were killed with US weapons in Gaza.
This is coming out. It's coming out soon. I think it's coming out this Friday, actually. So we'll watch it when it comes out. No, I'm straight up just joking. I saw the interview with the Yemen teen. I thought it was a great interview. Okay, thanks, chatter. I'm convinced the Biden administration is sabotaging his own re-election bid now out of spite. U.S. signals that Hezbollah it will back Israeli offensive as frustration goes with Gaza ceasefire. Wait, what? Amos Hochstein's blunt message to the Lebanese mediators may be a move to get Hezbollah to sway Hamas on Gaza ceasefire, analysts say. That's insane. Oh, speaking of insane, here's Mohammed Massad, former Fatah activist and researcher of religious affairs and terrorism on Hapatriotim. If Israelis lose control of Gaza Strip, we will get death. Israel must control the Gaza Strip. Just a fucking freak, dude. Uncle Ahmed, motherfucker. Uncle Mo. There's no rule in Gaza. If Israelis lose security control, then we will get more and more death. So Israel needs to be there. Israel must rule it. This guy is literally like, this is literally the you know, the peak of another charlatan, a clown that they just like trot out. Son-in-law of Hamas. I have a huge family there. I have people. I love them like my own children, and like they are there. I request, please, you must not give the Palestinians, the Amalekites, the Nazis. Bro, he is saying he's referring to the Palestinians in Gaza as Amalekites while simultaneously saying that his family is there. You must not give them security control. Like, he's invoking genocidal sentiment against his own family members. Okay? They occupy their people. They abuse their power. You saw on October 7, in 2007, it's giving Iranian diaspora saying nuke us. Yeah, except the difference is like this dude is literally a Palestinian inside of the Israeli boundaries who was a member of Fatah who literally has family members living under Israeli occupation. It is crazy to say that.
Damn, this guy's good.